All right. Oh, I fucked up.
Fucking guy.
Fucking guy. I am just.
We're live.
We're live. Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking amateur hour for me. All right. So none of that shit happened before. You guys didn't see any of that. Music.
We'll cut it out in post.
I don't do that. I could chop that
That's
up.
the joke.
Say hello to Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Say hello to Chaz.
No, my name's not Jazz. I'm Six Pack Joe today. Can't you tell?
Are you? Did you work out today?
No, because I'm wearing a MAGA hat.
Six-
I'm America's everyman.
Joe the plumber.
Joe
Who
Six
was-
Pack. Sorry.
Joe,
Fucked it up.
Joe Sixpack. Joe the plumber. Who was Joe the plumber?
Yeah.
That was that McCain?
I don't know.
That was back when you were a baby.
I don't know.
You don't fucking know. That was
It's a long time.
2012.
That old fuck.
In
Spent a lot of time in
2012,
a
you were
Hanoi Hilton.
15. You were 15. Just a baby. And I was still an old fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, me oh my.
Nothing's changed.
Thank you very much. I certainly haven't gotten younger. So that's that. Is what it is, man.
Yeah.
So, election day in
Jesus.
2 days. I got to have a little
Yeah.
ginger ale.
Mm.
I think I really need some tequila. But
I was gonna say, geez, you're not having any.
this will do.
I was getting all amped up before the show.
Okay.
Hmm? When you have a ginger ale.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
quicker
that's
without
funny.
the tequila. So,
That's all right. We'll be good. Or that's what we want, I should say. I was getting all amped up on like all these different issues. And one of the things, this is why I want to start the show off today, just because it pisses me off. But I sent a picture of it to Chris. It showed up on my Facebook feed. And I'm going to read it to you exactly, just so I don't make any mistakes. But it was a picture of like, it's some like LGBTQ propaganda, whatever. It says, if the fetus that you save is queer, talking to pro-lifers, saying, oh, if you don't abort a baby and it turns out that it's a queer baby, will you continue to protect its rights? Now, when I see that, it's just like so laughable to me that someone would put this up thinking, oh, no, just because your baby is going to go against your personal belief system, you're not going to fight for their rights now, right? People are so
that-
stupid to think that if Trump is Hitler 2.0, like, I'm not going to let you hide in my attic because you're black or gay. Not only can you hide in my attic, but I'm also going to be out on the front lines fighting for your safety, even though mine's safely secured. Like, I'm going to be out there doing right by you. And, like, why the fuck do you think that I think that it's a good thing or I won't protect your rights because you're gay or black or whatever? No one fucking cares.
So, when you sent that to me, I was confused. So this is this from somebody who's anti-Trump or pro-Trump? I'm not clear.
This is an
So
anti-Trump thing.
Okay. And
Yeah.
explain it again. So there's a picture of a woman with like a rainbow around her eye, and read what it says again.
It says, if the fetus you save is queer, will you continue to protect its rights?
In other words, if you vote for a pro-lifer, you can't have an abortion. There's this irony because it could come out somebody who won't be protected by the person that you put in office because you couldn't abort this thing in the first place.
I think it's speaking to the voter. It's not the person you elected, but yeah, it's
but
essentially
think about
the
what I
message.
just said, because that's really fucked up circular logic, right?
That's what I yeah. That was why I sent it to you because it was fucking stupid.
It is. It's ridiculous.
So yeah,
And just so y'all know, I am not an anti-Trumper, but I am not a pro-Trumper at all.
I'm undecided. I don't know if you can tell.
You know who I voted
I'm
for?
undecided in this.
As
election.
I've done in 2 other elections,
Yourself,
voted for me. This is the 3rd election
the
I've
most
gotten.
qualified person in this campaign.
I made a statement. There's not a candidate that's fucking worthy of me filling in Democrat or Republican. So get somebody.
Here's what I love about that:
What?
that you think you're like making a statement. Like who's seeing this being like, fucking Chris, that son of a bitch, he voted for himself again. That's 8 years in a row, you know, or
Right.
whatever.
They actually
they're
look
like,
at the
"He's-
names.
He's fucking getting
This guy
Yeah.
keeps writing himself in. Him and
Yeah. Like that.
100,000 others, or I don't know if. But
Yeah,
no,
So I get what you're saying, but
no. But the
yeah.
RNC and
At some
the
point,
DNC,
they're like, "Who the fuck?"
they do pay attention to this stuff because they're losing my vote. Because I have voted for Democrats and I have voted for Republicans, and I don't know if they have that data on me as, an individual voter, but there's not a satisfactory candidate, and I'm not fucking picking somebody that's not suited for the office. I'm not doing it. I mean, I am.
yeah, it's
I pick me. I really think I'm more qualified than either of those guys.
the quote. Those who need leaders are unfit to elect them, or whatever. You ever heard that?
Yes, I have heard that.
And I'm probably butchering the quote, but that's
No. That's it.
yeah. Those who need leaders are unfit to elect them. And there's something to that, folks at home. If you're like, that's what Chris is doing the right thing. He's like, I don't need a leader. I can just do it myself. I'll be me. I'll do it. I'm better at this than you guys are. Because whenever in history anybody else has gotten together to discuss my freedoms and my rights, it's worked out worse for me at the end of the day. You guys, whenever you guys get together to discuss Charlie's freedoms, you never come away from the table and say, we're going to give Charlie more freedom. You're always taking something away. You're always chipping away at my fucking iceberg of freedom. And soon it's just you're going to break the thing in half. That's how I look at it, at least.
Yeah. So I had this conversation with you, and I was persuaded or moved over the hump by. Did you ever look at that guy, Coleman Hughes?
Coleman Young? No.
Coleman Hughes. Young guy, relatively recent graduate from Columbia in, I don't know, some social science, political science, English, whatever. Humanities. And he's a black guy, and he's not conservative. He's conservative in the way that, like, Brett Weinstein would be conservative. Where he's a true liberal. And he said, here's why I'm voting for Biden. And I'm not voting for Biden. I'm not voting for a fucking guy who there's a good chance won't make it through his office. And then his vice president is somebody that I don't want him in office. I don't want her in office. I don't want Trump in office. Just fucked up. So where was I going with this?
He
Oh.
said that the reason that he's voting for Biden instead of for Trump is because he doesn't.
Oh,
want
yeah, yeah.
It's because
So-
of the reaction.
Right.
Yeah,
So you
or
were
whatever.
saying you're complaining about your freedoms being taken away. So ironically, the lesser of the evils to me that would infringe upon your freedoms and my freedoms, because from a God, I can't come up with the simplest words. From the standpoint of what we stand for, I'm with you. If Trump's elected, I think, like Trump derangement syndrome or whatever you want to call it, I think people are going to lose their minds, and I think that bad change will result. I think if Biden gets elected, particularly with Trump having appointed Amy Bennett, am I remembering correctly, to the Supreme
Coney
Court?
Barrett, yeah. ACB.
Amy Barrett, yeah, to the Supreme Court. That I don't think anything substantive will change as a result of him being in office. So I do think he's the lesser of two evils in terms of this country just fucking flipping on its head. That having been said, I'm not voting for the guy. So I think that your freedoms are infringed upon less with regard to everything that potentially could happen and how it might shake out if Trump actually doesn't get elected.
I disagree because you're on day one. Every president always does this. They're always. It's even on Trump on day one. He's just signing every single fucking thing. All the things they're gonna abolish and reinstate or get rid of, put in place on the first day. Shit like that. That would even have a bigger impact, literally, than any one of these riots would have an impact on my life.
Yeah.
Nobody's walking up, insert generic street name, and Charlie's house, and getting.
I
away
don't.
with that.
I don't agree, but it's based on a crystal ball that I don't have. So there's nothing I can really argue. Yeah, we have the 8-ball, but it's not a crystal ball. We're not crystal balling. We're 8-balling.
It's very specific.
So we only get one kind of definitive answer out of that. We don't get a broad picture. What's it going to be?
And sometimes it's a hazy answer and not even a definitive answer. So.
Although it has done a good job at giving us good answers that typically are definitive. Or if they're kind of nebulous, they kind of deserve to be. I think.
Yeah, I prefer nebulous. That's okay. Nebulousness. Okay. I'm good with that. Also, I love that word.
So, I had one more point to make, and I forgot what it was. I don't know.
And
I don't know.
Maybe I totally threw you off, but I just
No,
don't
okay.
think that you can be like, it's better to vote for Biden so that people who are immature, that baby wants his bottle. So I got to vote. I got to do what baby wants me to do. Otherwise, baby's going to want to have bottle.
Okay.
Baby wants your bottle. Wait, where's the cigar? Let me get it.
I did not and am not suggesting that. I'm just proselytizing what the outcome might be and what a better outcome might be. That having been said, I'm voting for neither of the major choices. I'm not.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not calling you out. I'm
frickin'
calling
doing
out
it.
Coleman Hughes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. So there's Brett Weinstein, who I think would agree with that standpoint. And he's not voting for either of them. I don't know if he's voting for somebody on the ticket, Libertarian, Green Party, whatever he
The
might
Unity
do.
Party guy.
Or he's not voting for Green Party, but I don't know that.
Unity Party, I said.
Oh, yeah, well, that didn't work out so well. But lost my train of thought again. I think he'd agree with what I say, and nobody knows who this guy is, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, and I happen to think, and I could be wrong, that doing what I do does make a difference. I think that when these guys look at how do we win, I think that choosing somebody who's electable, again, because I voted both ways, will start getting people's attention, if it hasn't already. Fucking Biden. You know,
yeah.
2 years ago or a year, I don't know. The guy's losing it, man. I mean, he's better, but I really think he's on like Prevagen or whatever that drug is, or I really think that he's on brain drugs.
Adrenochrome?
No, there's something it was advertised this morning. I think I was watching.
Adrenochrome
reruns.
is like virgin blood.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah.
I was watching reruns of like Andy Griffith or something that had like really old people ads on. That was
Fox
Joe.
News.
That too.
Sorry.
No, I was watching a rerun. I watched a taped rerun of a show that's 20 years old this morning, just because I can't take it.
Oh,
I can't take it. I can't fucking take it.
And it's so different. Any like sitcoms, whatever, all that shit is so different. If you just look at the jokes that they make,
Oh,
you're like,
yeah,
you couldn't
that they-
fucking say that.
Yeah, they this morning, exactly. I was like, wow, they would not say that joke today. Go back 30 years, go back 50 years, or 30 years. I mean, but 20 years, 2000. I was watching Becker. It's a show about a doctor. It's Ted Danson. It's
Yeah, I know.
Really
We talked
funny
about it
show.
last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was saying shit, and I'm like, wow, man, they would not put that in a sitcom script today. No way, no how.
It's just something like, wow, that secretary's got a nice ass. And you're like,
Yeah.
whoa. You
Whoa!
and think about
right?
an Animal House. Yeah, right. Oh, my God. Yeah. Hey, you need to go to sensitivity training, Chris. Think about the movie Animal House, where, like, he doesn't rape the girl who passes out. And it's like, oh, he's a sweetie now because of that.
Oh, my God.
The whole
right.
scene, you'd have to, like, get rid of that whole thing.
Right, the devil and the angel on the shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, oh, way to go. You didn't rape what is she, 13 or 16? What is it turn out to be?
He didn't know, but yeah, she was underage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like 13 too. And you also, I'm pretty sure you see that girl's tits in the movie and you're like, wait a second.
You're
But you
right.
couldn't, you'd have to
I didn't
scrap
even
that whole
think of
thing.
that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
the actress, even though the character might be underage, the actress, whatever's. But yeah, that whole shit it's very, very different. Oh, fuck, and I had a great point to make.
I remember
totally just
exactly what that guy said. What the devil
Oh, I
said
know.
when he popped it
Oh,
on
you
his
do?
shoulder. Yeah, I remember the exact words.
Fuck her brains out. forget what it was.
That's what he said.
Something like that, yeah.
He goes, fuck
Yeah.
her. Fuck her brains out. Suck her tits. Squeeze her buns. It's funny. My brother brought up Lethal Weapon, and I just started citing word for word the scene he was referring to. He's like, how do you know
One
that?
crazy son of a bitch. That's funny. There's some movies I can do that for. Yeah.
Semi-photographic memory.
Semi-retarded memory? What? I'm just kidding.
Yes, right.
No, the thing that I was going to say, and this is, you mentioned this, you said it was some old, whatever, something for old people
Sitcom.
that had those ads on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But think about this. Johnny Carson. Do you remember watching him ever in your life? Being like, oh my gosh, Johnny
The
Carson.
channel that runs Becker runs Johnny Carson at midnight or 11 o'clock.
Oh wow. So, do you remember ever watching Johnny Carson when it was like on the air?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
He went off the air in same time frame, 2000-ish.
Okay, so
Maybe
that's
a
at
little
least
earlier.
20 years right there.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is like before they had HD TV or even like, I'm sure like broad spectrum cable, anything like that. But it's a clip of Johnny Carson making fun of Joe fucking Biden for
No.
plagiarizing an acceptance speech or something. Yes, Johnny Carson. The how old is that? I'm sure that episode must be 45 years old or whatever, 40 years old. And it's Johnny Carson being like, this guy Joe Biden, he took this speech, these words out. Look at that. Just read this speech. Wow, that's his Joe Biden speech right there. How funny is that? And it's like today, now we're like, this guy's running for president. It's like, not the plagiarism thing doesn't matter to me, even though it's funny that they were ripping on him for doing something stupid like that. Johnny fucking Carson was making fun of this guy when the show was still on the air. That's how long this fucking guy's been in the office. And if he's elected president, God forbid, assuming he doesn't die, right? God forbid, he'll have been in public office for 51 fucking years, and I assure you, done nothing beneficial for the American people. That's half a century.
Well,
Half
his
a
voting,
decade.
he's shown
Think about
up.
that.
His voting record's good.
He's been there. Whatever.
He shows up and
His
votes.
voting record's good. Yeah, he
He's
goes
there.
to those meetings we were talking about earlier,
He
where
goes to the
whenever they
meetings.
leave, I end up with less freedom. Yeah,
He goes to the meetings.
he's like a non. Yeah, like a non.
It's funny, like
Klan member.
the guys who are, I was gonna say criminals. What came in? Habitual, whatever, repeat offender. Just career politicians, who show up for like less than half of the votes. It's like, how the fuck do you even stay in office? I
good
tell you
campaigning.
right
People-
now, we talked about this and whatever. I just got to say it. AOC is going to be there in 50 years. She has no other gig.
We did talk about that. Yeah.
She has no other gig. She's Joe Biden, version 2 or 3 or whatever.
Well, here's
know,
the thing: is we gotta.
you get
I need to
elected
get
in.
the fucking word out.
You get elected in, 170 grand, and then everything paid for. Your apartment in Washington, most of your meals, your travel expenses home. That's a seriously good gig.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Gold-plated benefits for the rest of your life. That ain't bad. I'm not sure. I went down a rabbit hole yesterday. Barack Obama's worth $70 million.
That's recent though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because in 10
Right.
years
I
he'll
think
be
he has
worth.
some big Netflix deal.
He got his book right after, which was millions. It's like
Right.
2 million or 4 million. I think it was a $4 million deal with a $1 million signing bonus or whatever.
Which chump change, really.
But yeah, right. Between leaving office in 2001, right, January of 2001, Clinton left office, and 2015, and I don't know why the data stopped there. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton combined, and this is just in revenue for appearing to give speeches, $230 million in income over 14 years to give speeches. And
But Chris,
the reason
there's
I went on
billionaires
this,
out there who are worth 4 times that.
so that's rent seeking. That's total. They're fucking rent seekers.
Yeah.
Oh man.
boy.
So Barack Obama's worth 70 million. The Clintons, and I don't know how this is. According to Celebrity Net Worth, they're worth 120 million. So I don't know what they're doing with their money. Because
How
between
about losing elections? That seems to be
2015 and now, there's got to be another, at least tens of millions. And Anyway, I had a point.
No, they shut down the Clinton Foundation.
The whole reason that got me there was I wanted to know Joe Biden's net worth, and I don't remember what it is. But because Hunter Biden, just
Biden.
icky money, fucking icky money.
Probably
The
16 mil.
Clintons, Hillary getting $500,000 to speak in Saudi Arabia. What the fuck is up with that? That's the exact same thing as Hunter Biden being on the board of directors of a natural gas company in Ukraine. What the fuck? The whole thing just, it all makes
Wait,
me
and I
wanna
wanted to
puke.
point. Okay, so they say he's presently worth $9 million. Over the last 4 years, has taken a total gross
Okay.
income of, or net
that-
income of 16 million.
That's what I thought. Okay.
16.7, sorry. Okay, so anyway, that's I also wanted to touch on that, the Hunter thing. The kind of changing gears here from that whole thing, but people, if you don't know that politicians grease their fucking palms, you shouldn't be watching our show. There's a couple other shows you should watch before just to make sure that you get all the shit straightened up. But politicians do shady shit like that all the time. The end goal is obviously to come out like Obama, loved and worth 70 million. So,
Just so you know, I'm
you've been
smiling.
hearing this whole.
Wait, I just
Why?
just a little intro to my life. I've got 3 dogs. One of them's rather old, and she's full of piss and vinegar right now. Oh, I can't look at her. She'll start barking at me to get a treat, and she won't stop. I mean, she'll go for 30 minutes, and will just relentlessly yelp at me. Hey, I'm down here. Hey, I'm down here. Hey, I'm down here. Hey, I'm down here. So she just came in the room
Wait
and
an extra
sat
2
on the
seconds.
corner of the pillow. If I look at her, literally, if I
staring?
make eye contact with her, it'll turn her back on. Anyway, so sorry about that.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
all right. It's good. Yes, and they're 3 very cute dogs, by the way, folks at home. They're sometimes the best part of the show. But, anyway,
Often the best part of my life.
what I was saying was, yeah, there you go. There you go. But Hunter Biden. I'm Joe Biden. Sorry. His son,
Can you
crackhead,
tell? Look at me. My arms
after
are crossed.
leaving.
I'm in a highly defensive position. It has nothing to do with you. This all really, really, really turns me off. I'm just so disappointed in this country right now. And
For what?
right now,
Not that there's not enough reason.
particularly right now, the election, but this morning, I'm just so disappointed in all the social unrest and how fucking pathetic it is. This country used to be tough. This country used to be about being responsible for yourself, looking at what you could do to lift yourself up, and despite whatever might be in your way, despite whatever might be right, wrong, or otherwise, this is America, and we're fucking Americans, and we do shit. And that is not.
So you're
this
saying,
this country's not that way anymore.
yeah.
And
So you're saying America
I
used
was
to be
watching-
a certain way. It would be nice if it were like that. Again, moving forward.
look, man,
Make America great again. God damn it.
Trump,
say it, I want you
Trump
to say it.
is. Trump hasn't done jack fucking shit. Just for the record, in my opinion.
Gas was $1.50 at one point during his administration. So
Yeah, and that's because the global economy is fucking tanking.
not because the United States is
Anyway.
now the number 1 exporter and producer of oil. Okay. That's all right. No worries. Wait. Why did you totally sidetrack my thing? You were getting all
I'm sorry,
defensive. for
I
no
wasn't.
reason.
I wasn't
asked you
even
to-
listening. It had nothing to do with you. I wasn't even listening to you. I was thinking about. I was thinking about just today's a day in my life where I had to do something that, relative to my whole situation, is a bad day. And without getting into it, and I think people forget, you know, let me frame this. I'm totally shifting gears here. If I had a kid, so I broke my neck at 26 years old. And again, people don't get this. So I'm high functioning quadriplegic. In terms of, you know, from 1 to 10, in terms of having an obstacle, in my case, a disability, 1 to 10, where you can work full time, you can physically take care of yourself, you can manage a home, you can be, you know, financially autonomous, you know, you can provide for yourself. 1 to 10, my situation is a 10 plus. And it really, really, really is. If I were like 1 iota more disabled, I would need somebody to come into my home and literally help me get dressed and showered and all that. And that's no fucking joke. I mean, just like I'm on the precipice of not being able to do stuff. And I thought, you know, what might be a way to frame this? And this is like over maybe even years of thinking about this. And I thought, if I had a kid and at 26 or 16 or 10 or 40 or whatever, if my kid had to be black or gay or trans or whatever, if I had to flip a switch and say, you can break your neck and have a C6-7 spinal cord injury, or you can be almost anything else, I would pick anything other than this.
Wow.
Because it's a fucking hard ass life. And when I
Leprosy.
watch people complaining about other stuff, fucking spend 1 day with me, or spend 2, and see that the day that I have, that I got to do it again. And then tell me you have it rough. Because this morning I wanted to fucking puke. Because everybody people don't know how good we have it, and or they have it. There's never been a time that it's been easier in this country. Never. In
You're
terms
talking
of
about
prosperity.
this country too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually the world.
I just want to point out.
The whole fucking
I was just gonna
world.
say.
Right?
I was gonna say.
I think there was some goal, I don't know if it was WHO or whatever, to get
Oh, this is unplugged.
what is it? Yeah, right. In terms of, was it starvation or?
Sorry, the computer was dying.
It's all right. In 2000, the year 2000, there was a goal, and it was to reduce national, like, whatever the word is for malnutrition. And it's been reduced, I think, by 50% globally in 20 years. The world has never been better off than it is today. And this country has never been better off in terms of prosperity and opportunity. And I'm not suggesting that there's not room for improvement and there's not inequity and all that. But you would think that the wheels have totally fucking come off and we're living in some place that's never existed before in terms of what America is and stands for. And that's so not the case. That's so totally not the case. We've lost our way. We've lost our fucking way. And I'm going to rant, and I'm using myself as an example, but I mean, who hits more home with anybody than themselves in their own situation? And I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I'm just using myself as a data point in terms of, you know, just like the really factor, you know, really.
Yeah.
There was some woman on camera, and they were on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. And, you know, it was all the super nice stores. And this woman had been looting, I don't know, Gucci or, you know, some fucking store. And they're like, you know, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And she's like, this place isn't for us. So we're going and we're making it for us by taking it. You know what? There's stores, I'm sorry, that aren't for certain people. And maybe you're rich, maybe you're poor, maybe you like steak, maybe you like fish, maybe you like spam. I don't fucking know. User. Right? But there's places that cater to whatever. I was driving up Woodward Avenue home from work one day. It might have been a snow day or whatever. And it was Highland Park, Michigan. And it was a fish store. And I drove by one of these. I got off some exit coming home from Chicago to get food. And I drove by, it was like live fish. And in Chicago, I wouldn't do it now. In Chicago, I was like, I got to go in this place. And I went in this place, and it was in a black neighborhood, and it was a catfish place. And I went in there, and there were these
catfish.
There were these huge fucking aquariums, I guess. I don't know what else to call them.
Yeah.
But they weren't glass. They were just these, like, they weren't buckets. Concrete, but they were tile. And they were full of catfish. And my point is, so, like, this store was catering to a market. And there were, like, huge barrels of pickled pig's feet, which my mom actually used to buy and bring home. She liked them, and I ate them, and whatever. It was weird, chewing on a fucking foot. But it tasted like a pickle that you couldn't chew and swallow. But it was, and Chris Rock did a thing on, you know, pickled pig's feet. He's like, they're fucking pig's feet. And he said, the crazy thing is, people are like looking through them. Like, one's better than the other. And these are pig's feet that have been trouncing around in shit for however many years. And one's better than the other? What the fuck's up with that? It's really funny. Anyway, so the point being, there's just shit that caters to certain markets. And if you want to buy a handbag that's $1,000, go to Gucci. And if you don't have $1,000, do one of two things. Don't go there, or figure out how to have $1,000 for a handbag.
Yeah.
And that's
I
it,
like that one.
right?
I like that better.
Well, but the point is,
yeah,
there's stores for different shit. And there's people who could buy a handbag for $1,000 who would say, that's fucking insane. I'm not going in there as a matter of principle because a handbag, you know, I can go to frickin' Target and get for $20, and it looks just fine
Or you
for
can
me.
literally just carry a plastic bag.
My dad used
Yeah.
to say, that's why they make wallpaper. And it was just this catch-all for, it takes all kinds, and that's why they make wallpaper. I'm on a huge rant here, and I'm like going all over
No,
the
you're
place.
good.
But you know, there's nothing wrong with. And if I shopped at Gucci, I'd go broke, so I can't afford it.
Yeah.
But I don't care. If somebody's got more money than me, that's fine. I'm not worried. Again, this goes back, it's a theme. I'm not worried about what somebody else has. I don't give a fuck. Good for them. I don't care. I don't care that Jeff Bezos now has
Yeah.
over $200 billion. Good for him. Guess what? I'm addicted to Amazon. I love it. The guy
Me too.
created something that improves my life. Fucking good for him. It's wrong to have $200 billion? I don't fucking know. I don't think so. Why? What's
No,
with
I
the
want that guy to
obsession-
have that because otherwise he wouldn't have made that thing.
Exactly. What's with the obsession
Yeah.
with it being wrong what other people have? Worry about yourself. If you want more, figure out how to have more. But don't make it based upon somebody else. Decide what you want and figure it out. But don't tear shit down. You know, have you ever watched the show How It's Made?
Yeah.
That's a cool show. And I was watching it a couple of weeks ago, and it was, or it might even have been a couple of months ago. And it was when people literally tearing shit down, and then people, like just the social idea that we gotta rip everything down to nothing and start over. And I had seen an episode about making, I think it was like fiberglass insulation. And they showed this
I was literally
factory.
thinking of that fucking episode. Yeah.
So
and wait, is
the-
it in India or China? Wait.
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. I think it was it was maybe 3M or whatever. But they showed this plant, and they showed this system that made this stuff. And there were all these little nuances as to how this equipment made this stuff, you know, created it, made it through the different iterations of the shit this product has, packaged it, and got it ready to ship. And, you know, this is something that started 50, 60, 80 years ago and is now so fucking efficient that the cost of fiberglass insulation is like nothing. But if you take that factory and that process and you just destroy it and you just whack 3M out of existence, so there's like no book on how to do this anymore, the things like building materials, building a home, insulating a home, heating and cooling a home, if you take all that shit and you make it go away, we're fucked. Right?
Yeah.
How you make food, how you grow food, how you process food, how you make food, how you make building materials, how you make clothing, how you make shoes, how you make anything and everything. If you burn that to the ground, just like Stalin did and Mao did, but they didn't do that much damage. If you start tearing that shit down, the world is screwed. Because in the last 100, 150 years, we've figured out how to make so much stuff and how to do it so efficiently and so cheaply that the world, going back 10 or 20 minutes, whatever it is so much better off. People have no idea. You know, it's funny. I was watching a
and I gotta stop you.
podcast. Oh, stop
Sorry,
me.
Go ahead. No,
No, I'm
sorry.
good.
You've been going for a minute. I've been biting my tongue for a while.
It's
Think
okay.
about, and I need to make this point because it's a good point. So that you're talking about the world, how the world is great right now. When was the last time that anybody in America worried about getting eaten by a tiger or not getting enough food because they couldn't hunt a deer or whatever? Or your fucking brother has smallpox or some shit. And Chris, and I just use it too. Think about even the word country. This country, America, has only been around since 1776, technically, right?
It's the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Think about before this country even existed, what was going how much worse shit was.
I say
And if you're thinking
1787, but anyway.
1789 technically, but that's
Ratification
okay.
of the
I'll
Constitution.
let it
Whatever, right?
Yeah. So the fuck. Totally got derailed. Think about where
Sorry.
no, it's okay. You're going
The
for a hot
country's
step
been
there.
around for the blink
think
of an
about-
eye. And how much better off the world is in America, right? And how
Right.
we're in an infancy. Just to
Right.
add
Oh, yeah,
on.
here we go. So now in 1776, fucking John Rolfe and John Smith, they were probably dead by then. That was like 100 years after. But from Pocahontas, those guys maybe were worried about getting eaten by something, but it was probably like a mountain lion. You know, it wasn't a tiger. It might have even been Native Americans. So you have to go back at least 400 years before you find one instance of that. Now, today, we're not even, in this country, that's not even fucking on your radar. Go to India, that shit happens today. So you think you don't even understand how good your life is in the timeline of things, right? In perspective of just you and where you are in this country. And then think about that guy in India who did actually get fucking eaten by a tiger or bitten by a cobra or whatever. His life is as shitty as it would have been for you or your ancestors not 400 or 500 years ago. That's how much better it is to live in America and how much better you have it than anybody else in the world.
Go to Africa.
That is like the best. Yeah, fucking Africa. Yeah.
You want to see struggling? You want to see
Oh, yeah.
fucking disease? And clean water is a luxury on much of that continent. Clean fucking
And you
water.
want to fucking talk to me about privilege. Someone wants to tell me that, Charlie, you're privileged. You're fucking privileged too, okay? You've never had
Here, let's frame
to
it.
walk 17 kilometers to get a fucking clean water.
Let's frame it. And I've said this before, but to put it in perspective, in America, to be a 1%er, you need a household income of $495,000. Okay. In America, how much do you need to make to be a 1%er relative to the rest of the world? The rest of the fucking world. Household
Annual
income
of $495.
$32,000. And in terms of the whole fucking world, you're a 1%er. So if you live in
You can be a
America
waitress.
and the average household income in America is in the $55,000 range for all households, we are way above 1%ers in terms of how we live in the whole fucking world. And we've lost our minds and we've lost our way. And it's, I don't know, just today it's really bothering me.
And people are pussies. And the whole rioting and looting thing, like, you're just taking advantage of it down. Here's what I thought. And I had this nice little moment of clarity. And I don't know if people at home, if you should be able to draw these connections pretty quickly, but think about how the government is treating this whole COVID thing and rioting. You're allowed to go and do a gathering as long as you're doing destruction. As long as you're destroying something, or as long as you're going to be going and stealing or hurting or raping or looting, whatever you're going to be doing, as long as your group does that, that's fine. But if you want to go to church and have mass with all your neighbors, no, you can't do that because you're not destroying anything. You need to go burn down buildings. So I had this good thought. It was, if you want to still go to mass, just have your preacher, your father, just do like a roving mass thing where you guys also go around and burn and loot stuff. That way the government can't stop you from congregating. And I was like, there you go, problem solved. That's how they're fucking treating it, and that's not even ridiculous. I bet you that you could get away with that. They'd be like, oh, they're looting.
Well, you took
Instead,
it a little far for your point. And
I did, but it's supposed to be hyperbolic.
well, I think you lost people there. But the point is,
Sorry.
if you're
Chris,
protesting and you completely abandon all generally accepted protocol for not spreading COVID, it's okay.
I'll even just say humanity.
Just so
but yeah.
people understand your
Yeah.
point. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you're going to, and I'm not a fan of the red hat, but if you're going to a red hat event and you engage in the same behavior, you're evil and irresponsible and whatever. And that's the point. There
part of a
is
super
an absolute
spreader
double
event.
standard, double fucking standard that makes me want to puke. And I'm not on either side. Everybody makes me want to puke. But the hypocrisy makes me want to triple puke. So your point is so valid and so fucking... I don't even know how to put it. But if you're on one side, a certain set of behaviors is fine. And if you're on another side, the exact same set of behaviors framed in a different light is unacceptable. And that's total bullshit.
I can't let you get away with that because, first of all, even though
No,
I
I
100%
was
agree
just-
with you, I'm kind of joking, but no, they're not the same behavior, which is the fucked up thing. The people who go to these rallies, they're just hanging out. The people who go to the protests are doing things that are inhuman. They're filthy and disgusting, and you're literally burning shit down, right?
No, I get that.
So let's
my
just
point
pretend
is
that yeah.
the behavior, my behavior is abandon of
Yeah.
accepted protocol for containing the
In
spread
terms
of
of COVID,
coronavirus.
yeah. Right.
That's all I'm saying.
And I'm just that's extra.
Let's not even
extra
qualify
seasoning
whether
on the-
one event is better than the other. Setting that
I'm sorry,
aside,
I just need to make it clear.
no, but
Yeah.
that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
But the total hypocrisy is in that one is a gathering
You
and
could
the
say that
other
they're identical
is a
actions,
gathering.
yeah.
They're just gatherings. And one's fine and the other's not. And then if you want to take it to your point, one is, right, a mostly peaceful protest, which incorporates stealing and burning. And that's okay in terms of COVID. And the other is gathering for a political event, and that's not okay.
And there's none burning and none stealing.
Right, you're passing
Non-violence
judgment.
sexual.
I'm trying to just not pass judgment to make the point that your point is.
Well, that's why I
even-
use the church thing. So whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So,
Because I wasn't necessarily talking about right. Yeah.
but you were being hyperbolic, and I think it may have gotten lost on a lot of people. And I just wanted to just clarify, ultimately what you were saying, because it's so fucking valid. Again, and then if you want to qualify, and I don't disagree with you, what the events themselves are, then it becomes, just put a fucking exponent on it, and it's exponentially worse. But then
Yeah,
you're
so I'm almost
then you're
like, if
passing
you're-
judgment, and I was just trying to be.
If you're a rabbi and yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Maybe it makes for a better point if you're being whatever unbiased on that field, but I don't think it's a hard distinction to make. I think a lot of people would see that.
Thank you for air
If you're one of
quoting
those rabbis, yeah, sorry.
me. That's okay.
So if you're one of those Orthodox Jews who just wants to go to fucking synagogue on Saturday, all you got to do is just get with your people and go to some shitty black neighborhood and just burn it down while you guys do your thing, and you'll be fine. No one will stop you. You'll be allowed to meet, and New York won't touch you. Which just blows my fucking mind that is basically what you have to do now just to be able to meet up without getting ridiculed by the media and the government, harassed, right? It's like if you're fucking looting, then you're fine. Or that word looting, I use it a lot. If peacefully protesting, unpeacefully protesting, as long as you're doing that, you're in the clear. But otherwise, you have to abide by the rules because you're gonna abide by the rules because the other people, they don't listen to us. So we're not gonna make them listen to the rules. That's basically what it is.
It doesn't have to be a black neighborhood, right? It just has to be.
No, it doesn't. I'm just
'cause
that's
most
where
of the
this is happening. That's
Well, actually, it's not. In a lot of these, you know, a lot of the fucking offenders are fucking upper middle class, 20-something white college students. The whole thing's just fucking. Like I said, we've lost our way.
yeah.
man.
I hate to break it to you, but it's people who look like me. pretty much to a T.
Right.
It's guys who are me. Yeah, yeah. Except for maybe a little bit of green or pink hair and some
They're a
fucking
little
body
younger.
piercings. But
They're a little younger
yeah,
and a little less mature. Not much.
slightly, but a lot.
slightly.
Not much less mature, but a lot stupider. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh
say,
man,
"Oh
oh
my
man, oh man, oh
gosh."
man, oh man. So, Tuesday night's going to be interesting, man. And
We have to
Wednesday
both make a prediction. I apologize.
and Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, this is not going to wrap up on Tuesday night or Wednesday. Right? Because I think
we should still make a prediction. Yeah.
in terms of what,
The outcome.
who the fuck knows?
I think we should do it just for posterity, but that way if the aliens are, coming by one day, what the fuck happened to this planet? Our episode will be out there and they'll understand why there's just nuclear winter and there's nothing left.
Do you remember the Rocky with Clubber Lang?
I never watched any of the Rockies.
All right. I'm going to mute myself because
Oh.
I got to pull this up. Talk for 30 seconds.
Okay. I have a great thing to fill up this time with while he does it. So the Hunter Biden laptop, and I believe this is where my original derailing went when Chris's first rant started, but the Hunter Biden laptop thing, who fucking believes this is a Russian disinformation smear campaign or whatever? Sorry, not a smear campaign. This is Russian disinformation. They're doing this to modify the results of the election. And forgive me, but if you're Russia and you see what happened over the last 4 years and let's pretend like last time they effectively swayed the outcome of the election, even though I'm pretty sure it was just a couple of fucking ads. You're not going to try to re-elect Trump. You're going to want Biden, the fucking geriatric old fuck who's not going to make it. He's not going to survive his next sneeze unless 4 years. That's the guy you want to elect. You don't want to hurt that dude's chances. You want to get Trump out of there. It's a very, you guys aren't buddies. I don't know why the media thinks that it's, we're going to elect the successful president in American history. We're going to have him again. It's like, that wouldn't make any fucking sense.
I'm back.
Sorry,
I wasn't listening. What'd you say?
You didn't listen at all?
No, I was listening to Clubber Lang.
Oh, that's sorry. That's all right.
I heard impassioned
Why?
tone.
What? Oh, the Russian accent?
I heard
Yeah.
impassioned tone.
Yes, it was very impassioned. I'm just laughing in disbelief that the media decided to run with this. The Hunter Biden laptop thing is some Russian disinformation op that they're doing to sway the election in Donald Trump's favor. And I'm like, why the fuck would the Russians want the guy who's better? It doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not saying subjectively better. I'm saying what Trump has done was objectively good, or at least under Trump's America, the last 4 years, they were objectively a bigger force to be reckoned with. And I don't even think Russia is that big of a deal. I think it's like fucking second world, literally. It's like if America had communism. That's exactly what it is. It's if America had communism and winter, harsher winters. But
there's
you
one
don't
thing
want Trump
very
if you're Russia.
there's one thing very relevant about Russia, which is they have nukes.
So
That's
does
a big
North Korea.
That's a big. That doesn't. Well, not for sure. It's a big deal. They have nukes. It's a big deal. Everybody who has nukes needs to be taken seriously. That's for sure. Because once you have nothing to lose, that's why if Iran gets nuclear weapons, it's a big deal. Because they're crazy and they got nothing to lose. It goes back to like nothing to do and nothing to lose. Right? Push the fucking button. All I want to do is destroy America. I don't care if I die. That's
Death to America.
that's bad, right?
I can see that. And it just
So
says Allahu
anybody
Akbar
with
spray
nukes
painted on
needs
the
to be taken
trash can
seriously.
nuke.
So
Yeah.
that's all I'll say about that. I mean, you make some good points. Russia, totally relevant with regard to all things on a grand world scale. No. Do they have nukes? And should we keep our eye on them? For sure. All right, hang on. Here's my little thing.
Even
What's your
sorry, go ahead.
prediction for the fight then? Prediction? Yes, prediction. Pain.
Could you hear that?
Pain, motherfucker.
Pain.
Pain, motherfucker.
My prediction
It is a
is
motherfucker,
just
but yeah.
I don't it's just gonna some sort of chaos is going to ensue. And Trump is going to make a lot of noise, whether he wins or loses, and the process is going to be ugly. You know, I mean, what has been said about America, you know, what's one of the great outcomes of this whole experiment, as it's been, you know, dubbed, at least recently, maybe forever, maybe I haven't been paying attention, which is every 4 years, there's a peaceful election, potentially with a peaceful transformation of power. That's a very big deal. And that may
Transition.
not happen. That may not happen this time.
I watched an interview with the Unity Party 2020 candidate for president, some fucking dipshit, I forget his name.
The guy with the eye patch?
Who was like, no, that's Dan Crenshaw. That's not.
Yeah.
He's the Unity 2020 guy, not Unity Party, which is different.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just to make that clear at home, folks. Yeah, Dan Crenshaw is a badass, and he's not a pussy, 100%. And that eye patch is fucking. That's a good look. Anyway, I bet you I could get a ton of pussy if I had an eye patch. like
Dude,
that.
okay.
And it's like custom.
Reel that back. Anyway.
What?
I said, reel that back. Let's keep ourselves reputable here.
He said, dude. Whoa. Okay. I'll wear
And
this MAGA hat and
if you
get a Dan
want,
Crenshaw.
I can take care of that. And guess what? You don't want that.
Ooh. Shoot me in the fucking eye.
Just
Yeah.
poke in the eye with a sharp stick. That's all it
With a
takes.
sharp stick. Yeah, I was about to say.
That's all it takes, man.
All right, you ready? We'll do it on the show. Anyway, the point that I was making was
Anyway,
there's no outcome. This guy was saying essentially that the military is going to have to assist in getting Mr. Trump out of the Oval Office. That is not fucking happening. If anybody, I've been wrong in the past. I've had issues. I've made mistakes, incorrect predictions, assumptions, whatever the case is. There's no outcome from here till Trump either is going to do another 4 years or leaves the White House. That is, the military is intervening in helping with the transition of power. That's not going to be the case 100%. I have no doubt. Now,
what makes
that being
you
said,
so confident?
then what does the election look like? What?
What makes okay, so let's say one thing I don't underestimate Trump is his ability to he can get shit done by creating chaos. So,
That's how he got into the White House.
exactly. So let's say it's really close and there's just, mail-in ballots, fucked up counting. This is going to be unlike anything we've ever experienced. It's not going to be decided Tuesday night. There might be like statistical predictions, like they can call it, right? When there's a certain percentage of so many votes that are in, you can call it. And
at some
I
point,
don't
it's
know-
also electoral votes, not actual popular votes. So yeah,
no,
it could be like,
yeah, but that doesn't matter because if you start tallying states, you can start calling states. And there's, with
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
statistical certainty, this state is X, and just start adding up electoral votes. And, generally speaking, before COVID, people would go to the balloting polls and cast their vote. And we knew generally around midnight, with exceptions of runaway elections, who was going to be president. I don't see that happening this time. So you got mail-in votes. You got at least one state where the state's voting laws or protocols or whatever you want to call them or whatever they are, at least one of them, I think it's Pennsylvania, has said that ballots can be counted up to 3 days, after the election, provided they're in on time, whatever that means. So, like Pennsylvania, 20 electoral votes, really fucking close in 2016, with a bigger turnout in suburbs and urban areas, could totally go the other way, right? Same with Michigan, same with Wisconsin. What's my point? Oh, so Tuesday night, I don't see this being done. Right? And then who knows how much chaos and counting after the fact and uncertainty ensues after that. And then Trump saying, I fucking won. I fucking won. And I can totally see him doing that. And then what?
I don't. I don't see it happening like that. There's got to be like, there's no, what maybe the first few days, sure, but they're not gonna get to a point where they're like, hey, we did it, we counted it. It actually looks like Trump didn't win. He's gonna make a concession.
Let's
he's
say
gonna
it
do whatever.
takes
He's not gonna.
3, 4, or 5 days, and they say, dude,
What if it
you
takes 3
lost.
weeks?
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's say it takes some time.
Yeah.
Let's just call it some time. And they said,
Yeah.
Donnie, fucking Orange Man, you lost. Get out.
It was a good run.
You think he says, okay.
You think
see
he's
you later.
not leaving?
Huh?
You think
You
he's
think
not
he's-
leaving?
I'm sorry. I spoke over you. Say that one more time.
Sorry, my question is, do you think that he's not leaving when that's the scenario?
I don't know. I don't put it past
I
the
think
guy
not.
to
I
say,
think there's no.
I contest this. I personally contest this. I'm still the president.
The moral of the story is, if you're the president, be good to the troops, because they'll have your back. That's why the Democrats will never win via military coup. That won't that won't happen because
That would not
Democrats
be a military coup.
shit on the fucking military constantly. What?
No, because if that would not be a military coup. You're being
No.
hyperbolic here.
No,
Because
no. No,
If the hang on.
I was making
if-
a joke.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Alright,
I was
got-
saying the lesson
got
to
me
learn here
torqued
is
up.
if you're the president, be friendly to the military.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Um,
Guess what?
yeah. Anyway,
I'm sorry. Despite the commander in chief and all that, I don't think this president. They're going to do what their general says, not what the commander-in-chief says.
I think oftentimes the generals will do what he says, though. Otherwise, you can be shot.
We were doing
right?
it. We were doing an episode one time, and I don't know how long ago it was. We've been doing this a while now, but maybe it wasn't on the episode. Maybe we were just having conversation, or maybe it wasn't even with you. I thought, like, you know, if this guy gets too close to like the red button, you know, where he wanted to shoot a nuke into a fucking hurricane a summer or two ago. You know, if he gets too close to the button, I think there's a contingency plan where he like winds up tripping and falling down a fucking staircase and breaks his neck, and that's the end of it.
Oh no, we fucking we didn't get to launch that nuke into that hurricane.
He tripped and fell. He's dead.
Wow, he
Oops.
just broke his old fucking weak crinkly neck in several places, yeah, and died on impact. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't put it past the guy to say, I call bullshit. I'm still president. And what I say goes. I think the guy's that deluded.
I don't think so. And I almost want that to happen just so I can be like, the last 4 years and 16 months prior, I did kind of call that out and was not wrong about that. That the guy isn't a fucking complete nutcase. So,
You know what? That would be reassuring. And you know what? If he
Yes.
lost and there were some sort of exhibition of sanity, there you go. It would be reassuring to me to say, you know what? So the last 4 years, maybe he was the fucking mad genius who was his own puppeteer the whole fucking time. Right? So there's people who espouse that theory that he is just fucking brilliant and he's just been playing us the whole goddamn time. And you know what? Nothing would make
40
me
chess
happier.
costume.
Nothing would make me happier either, you know, next week or 4 years and a couple weeks from now to know that this guy was of total fucking sound mind the whole damn time. And
I would have said, I fucking told you so.
I was just a dumbass. That would please me to no end.
I would need to find a new host to be a co-host to. I'm just kidding.
Why?
No, I'm just joking. So I'd be like, you were a dumbass and you admitted it. So I don't know. No, I don't know.
so hope you're
and
right.
I don't think that there's any situation. Yeah. I don't think
I
there's any
s-
situation where he says, I'm not leaving. Now, there
I,
might be states, like people who are like, we're not recognizing the outcome of the election or whatever the fuck. Like, there were Democrats that did that shit in 2016 too, so fuck them. But, you know, look where we are today. There's another election happening.
Yeah, not really though, because there was like, well, are they not going to cast their ballots? And everybody fell in line and casted their ballots, and that was all
Exactly.
just a bunch of fucking hyperbole. So, yeah, I don't see that happening. But I'll tell you what, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be fucking interesting. And
I'll be up all night. Yeah.
yeah, maybe I'll take a vacation day on Wednesday.
You should totally do that. If you do that, then let's do a Wednesday episode.
I'm in.
Let's do it. I think we should do that. I need to ask the 8 Ball. By the way, we're over an hour, probably an hour and 15 minutes by now, but gotta ask the 8 Ball. Is Trump gonna win this election? This is huge.
That
The most important question we've ever asked.
that
Most likely. Gave us a hazy answer, just like we discussed earlier in
that's
the
a
show.
hazy answer.
So the 8 Ball says most likely Trump is going to win. And it was quick too. It didn't shake around. And we've
It's gonna
asked
be
this 8 Ball if
interesting,
God
man.
exists, by the way, and it said no. What?
I said it's going to be interesting either way, man. I'll tell you what, I was. It's coming down. I really think it's coming down to Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, and Ohio, and they could all go either way. I think he's going to. I think he's going to lose Pennsylvania. And I don't know. I'm not Mr. Electoral College. I mean, I kind of know how many votes the states have. But,
I don't know. I only looked that shit up. I think
if he
Pennsylvania's going
loses
to go
those,
red because of Murphy.
You think Pennsylvania's going red?
Yeah, because of Murphy, the governor, that fucking dipshit. What is that? Philly or is that?
Yeah.
Jersey. Yeah, that's
No. It's Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And now that I'm fucking saying this, because of what the 8-Ball just told me, I'm going to predict right now, put my money on the line. Trump's going to win the election, and we're going to have another 4 years of MAGA. That's what I'm thinking.
It's gonna be.
And Biden will die in 30 days or something.
It's gonna be a ride,
He'll
man.
have an aneurysm or some shit. Yeah.
Here's the one thing. Here's my final thought. It's going to be bumpy either way. But I think, everybody's worried about like America just completely unraveling. We're going to be okay. There might be some shit storms that we haven't seen, but you know what? The 60s were a very embroiled time. Kennedy got assassinated. This guy got taken out. That guy got taken out. It was a very, very bumpy decade, and we came out of it okay.
It was like a culmination of the Queen song. Oh, wait. Is that Queen?
Which one?
Boom, boom. Another one bites the dust. No, who is that?
That's Queen.
That is Queen. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're fine. It's going to be okay. Also, if Trump wins and you're one of those fucking just displeased, nonplussed, whatever.
I'm not going to be pleased either way.
Shit down.
Oh, you're not talking to me.
That's No, not you. I'm saying, if you're going to be one of those fucking people, just don't go burn shit. Don't go fucking beat old ladies with 2x4s, because I've seen videos of that shit too. That's horrible. Just be like, all right, how am I going to make my life better without ruining somebody else's life in the process? That's
do no harm.
I think that's
right?
pretty good ass too.
Charlie's rule.
First, do no harm. Yeah, first, do no harm.
Cue
I
music.
had something else to end it on, but yeah, cue music.
Wednesday.
Oh, and if Biden wins, I'll lead by example, because it's not going to affect my life that much. How about that? There you go.
Either way, in 4 years, we're coming out on the other side.
Get out there and vote. MAGA, baby.
Vote.
What's up?
Vote.
Vote.
Vote. Say goodbye, Charlie. Say goodbye, Chris. Bye. See you Wednesday. Bye-bye.